I'm calling it out right now. Real Housewives of Potomac is one of the best shows in the franchise. Period.
I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy DJRichieSkye. We are back with another video, and in today's video, we're going to be recapping the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 4, Episode 9, and this is getting crazy, okay? Let me tell y'all something. If you're not watching this show, how are you living? How are you living? How you call yourself a Housewives fan and you're not watching this show? Before I even go off on y'all, let me just say this. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, because you don't want to miss a single drip drop of what we giving y'all every day on this channel. Listen, I did a video on Saturday. Y'all went up for that one, so thank you and shout out to all of y'all for watching on the weekends, because I know sometimes y'all tune out on the weekends, but those of y'all tuned in and we popping on the weekends too. So let's give it up for ourselves as we continue our love and obsession with basketball wives, housewives, and everything reality TV. Now let me tell y'all something. Last night's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac was probably one of the best of that franchise and one of the best episodes I've seen all year long. Yes, let me tell y'all something. This is going to go down as one of the most epic Housewives shows in probably all the franchises, and every franchise has a couple of breakout episodes that really make it a legendary show, and this is probably one of those ones right here. Now, outside of that umbrella episode from last year with Robyn and Monique, but this one almost takes the cake, because the sheer magnitude of the entire episode was it's crazy, okay? It was crazy from start to finish. And them producers messy. They knew exactly what they were doing, because they left us hanging last week on the cliffhanger, and I didn't think it was going to be that much more to it. But let me tell y'all something. The first 5 to 10 minutes, I had to rewind that thing like 3-4 times, because so much was happening and we got to get into it. But one of the reasons why I want to tell y'all that, see, Housewives shows work the best when there are a couple of things that happen. One, there's a little bit of mystery and intrigue around something that happened off camera that the rest of us got to figure out, and not everybody was privy to, okay? You know what I'm saying? Because that creates the makings of a good scandal. We could take that all the way back to season 1 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, when Camille and Kyle got into it because Camille was upset about something that Kyle may or may not have said off camera. We can go back to season 3 when we find out that Adrienne was actually a surrogate and not, technically she's the real mom or whatever, blah, blah, blah. We can actually go to Puppygate in this season of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because that happened we weren't really interested in that. Okay, so I would rewind. We want to rewind that, or do we just leave it in there? Okay, let's leave it in there. Whatever. Anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. Even in Closet Gate, in Real Housewives of Atlanta this past season, we didn't really see what happened in the closet. We are only left to speculate, and we were so intrigued by it. In this season, Real Housewives of Potomac is delivering that same element of intrigue. I got to take my bracelet off for this one, because this thing gonna break. I'm doing all of this. Listen, it's got drama, it's got intrigue, it's got a mystery thing, a statement that happened off camera. Next week, we're gonna get this whole Michael Darby situation, which allegedly happened off camera as well. So we get all of this, and we're all left to speculate, and then the ladies are left to speculate. So it becomes a little bit of a mystery that we have to follow to the end of the season in order to see how this whole thing plays out. But what I love seeing is that we're getting people's genuine reactions as things are happening. And we're going to talk about the MVP of this episode at the end, but we got 2 MVPs this episode. I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all guess who y'all think it is? Put it down in the comments who y'all's MVP is, but I got my 2, and they did it this episode. But let's get into it, because we leave off from last week where Candice is going off. Listen, I live every time Candice worked her way up out that chair. Every time she put her hand on that table, I was like, oh girl, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Some of my favorite quotes from that point was when Candice said to Ashley, Try me in that kangaroo restaurant, okay? Not my home. And Ashley was sticking to her guns when she said, this ain't your house, this your mama's house. This your mama's house, okay? I'm not necessarily sure why Candiace got so upset about her, and I get it. It was a low blow, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know, my mama paying for half of the mortgage, so I mean, it is technically kind of her house too. So, but I guess it was sort of meant to diminish Candiace in a way that would make her feel the same way that her mom is probably making her feel. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that hit hard for her, and I felt like, honestly, she was being disrespected in her home. She was. But what I'm laughing about is, to me, I had to rewind. Let me tell you something. I don't know how many times I had to rewind this because Giselle, messy. She is the mess. Giselle stirred up a whole bunch of mess this episode. I didn't even think it was possible for a person to stir up that much mess. She stirred up more mess than Lisa Vanderpump did that in the entire 9 seasons that she's been on the show that they've been talking about her manipulating the cast. Giselle did that in 1 episode, okay? 1 episode, and still came out laughing. Listen, she stirred that entire pot, the entire episode. I ain't ever seen nothing like that in Housewives history, okay? Not even Sheree could do that. Speaking of Sheree, Robyn is now the new bone carrier. She's the new bone carrier. Actually, though, I feel like it might actually be Giselle too. I don't even know. I feel like Robyn is an unwilling bone carrier. You understand what I'm saying? But I was here for it, okay? Let me, because I could go off. I could go off about this whole situation. But the biggest point that I want to talk about is the fact that Chris, Candiace's husband, chimed in, shut the whole argument down, and said Michael Darby did say that he wanted to suck on some sausage. Then y'all sip on that. Sip on that. When the husband confirmed, listen, and I like Chris, and I feel like he was doing a little ear hustling. He was doing some ear hustling. But at the end of the day, I felt like what he was saying was 100% factual and actual. And I kind of feel like maybe Michael did say something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Ashley is just trying to save face right now because she knows these rumors are flying around. She knows that they are flying around. But here is what I wanted to say. Katie and Giselle outside goading Ashley to come back inside that house after she done kicked you out. Ashley, no ma'am. Don't go back in nobody's house after they done kicked you out because you don't know what you're going to get when you go back up in that house. Don't do it no more, girl. Don't do it no more. Candiace already crawling on top of the table throwing butter knives at you. I don't understand. Why would you want to go back up in that house so she could do it again? Next time it could be a pitchfork. You don't know what's going to happen to you. A pan of hot grits, Medea style. You don't know exactly what could happen to you. And then she crept back up in there a 3rd time. I was like, why is she sneaking back in this house? Katie and Monique can't even have a conversation to clear up this. First of all, and second of all, Katie, why are you telling us that you don't have no air conditioning in your home? Why don't you have air conditioning in your home? And listen, this is no shade to nobody with no air conditioning in your home, but listen, it's hot outside, people. It's summertime. If you ain't got no AC, if you got a fan, you got something. You got something in your household. You got something that could tell us exactly what's going on. Listen, I'm not buying it, the whole you wearing scarves because you ain't got no AC. What, and you do your own hair? There are plenty of women out there who do their own hair. But listen, at the time, Candiace had mentioned last week that everybody was talking about Katie's looks, and they were saying that she looked rough. Now, Katie's a beautiful girl. I will admit in several instances that her wig kind of looked shifted and things, and something looked like it was going on. I really don't know. But what I will say is that there is something to what they were saying. I feel like there was. Come on now. You on a television show and you tossing wigs on and they looking crazy and half of it over here hanging down to your head. It was just weird. It was just off. It was just off a little bit. But I was cracking up when she was trying to explain this to Monique, and then here come Ashley creeping back up into the house for a 3rd time. Girl, what is your problem? Get out. Just get out the house. You got to know when to take an exit and take your L and leave, girl. Just leave. Because honestly, here's the thing. You do better in that situation when you can make your own exit, not when somebody has to kick you out repeatedly. Oh, Jesus. And I'm living for Katie and Ashley in their car. Katie, to me, she's like, well, did he say he wanted to suck a sausage? Well, is he gay? I mean, I don't understand what the big deal. I'm quacking up. Let me tell you something. This episode had everything that I needed and some more. And when I get finished with this, I'm gonna go watch it again. So we leave the dinner party from hell, but not before we get to, listen. Can I just ask y'all a question? Can you comment below? Let me know. Did this man say that he wanted to suck a sausage? What do y'all think? And finally, I want to know who y'all think the sausage was. Do you think it was Chris Samuels? Do you think it was Juan? Or do you think it was Ray? Giselle don't have no man, so we know it couldn't have been somebody for her. And that ain't no shade. That's real talk. That's real talk. That's real talk. She ain't got no man right now. Or at least not one that we seeing on camera. So I want to know who y'all think it was. Now my bet is on Chris Samuels or Juan. Okay, it's on one of those. It's on one of those guys. And from what I'm understanding, it comes out later in the season, so y'all just gotta stick around. But I want to know who y'all think it is right now, because my bet is one of those two. I sure do. Next we see Giselle talking to, first off, shout out to Chris Samuels for working out with Monique. And Monique, if you are watching this, I'm gonna need you to get your tail on to the Watch What Happens Live, because we ain't seen you on there all season. I know you commented when somebody asked you about it earlier on Instagram, because you know I was stalking. And you said that you had been asked twice and that you was busy with the baby and things. But girl, I'll babysit. Go ahead and take yourself up to Watch What Happens Live so we can see what you got to say about these situations and things, because I really want to know what your thoughts and opinions are. And can we say a good shout out to Bravo for finally putting up the Real Housewives of Potomac after show? We finally get to see Monique a little bit more. And I know y'all say I'm Team Monique. I mean, yes, I am. I like her. And what? Okay, now what? Moving right along. When Ashley said that Karen's personality is phony like her teeth, her hair, her nose, her cheek, you name it, I was like, oh girl, that's not gonna work out well for you. And I'm trying to figure out, and I sort of get why Ashley's mad at Robyn, but Giselle kind of coerced Robyn to bring that statement out at the dinner. And before that, Candiace coerced Robyn to bring that statement out at the dinner. Why are you mad at her? You're looking at the bigger picture, but you're not looking at the details, and the devil is in the details. And Giselle stirred every single pot in everybody's kitchen lab that night in this episode. And she stirred that pot, and now you mad at Robyn because of that? She practically threw Robyn under the bus, and I don't understand why you mad at Robyn. Anyway, I think she just mad because I think she wanted her friend to say it's not true, even if it was true. And I feel like Ashley probably knew that this happened, or maybe doesn't remember, because the way she was looking in that car, it looked like she was kind of smirking a little bit like, I've been caught. So I don't really know. But what y'all think? Y'all think she heard that and she just trying to downplay the situation? Because I kind of think she is. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get into, side note, shout out to Antia. My girl Antia, who I've worked with, I have MC shows that she has put on before. She was actually, I don't know if she's managing or doing PR for Ashley, but shout out to you, Antia. I saw you in that episode several times, girl. Get your credits. Candice and her mama. Oh God. Now listen. I don't even know what to say. I'm flabbergasted by this situation, and I think honestly the only thing that I can tell y'all is this: Candice, move out of that house. The only way that you're going to make this situation better is if you cut those strings yourself. Now, some people believe that your mama can pop you at any point in time if you get disrespectful. I don't know that I believe that, because I believe that when you are a grown adult and you are in public, you have the right to be respected at this point. You understand what I'm saying? But I also believe that you don't disrespect your mom either. So I'm kind of at a hard spot, but I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think that her mom has the right to still pop her about the face with a pocketbook, even if she is of the age that she's at, where she's married and she's got a whole husband and a whole adult life? Well, I'm torn on this one, because again, y'all know, if you see me on my lives, you know you don't disrespect your mom at any point in time. But moms look like she might cut to the white meat a lot, okay? And I feel like the reason why she's able to do so is because she's still paying that $4,000 per month in expenses. Now, if she's paying half the mortgage, and the mama talking about she's paying $4,000 per month, that would lead me to believe that the mortgage got to be $8,000. That don't sound right. Because if you're paying $8,000 a month for the mortgage, you're paying too much to be staying. And I know what the area is, so I'm thinking to myself, I'm just doing the math, y'all. And they put it out there, so I got to do the math. Unless she counting some other expenses like light bills and things like that, which, if your light bill $2,000, because I'm assuming that the rent might be $4,000 or $2,000, depending on y'all help me out. Y'all help me understand it, because did y'all hear? I heard $4,000, and so I'm just trying to do the math. Somebody help me out in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Candiace, move out to mama's house. Now, I want to say shout out to Potomac for getting the upgrade, because we see Giselle and Robyn on the party bus, headed to see Ashley performing. Ashley. Now, when I was on a show called Daily Flash, we were looking to book Ashley on there, actually because we wanted her to do a yoga segment. But I think she got pregnant, so we weren't able to really make the booking work. Which is shout out to Ashley, because she did have the baby. She had a baby boy, I'm told. And she had the baby, I think it was yesterday, before the episode came on or something like that. And the reason I noticed was because I was on the Instagram while I was out at brunch, drinking my life away. And soon after Ashley gave birth, Candiace went off on Instagram. She went off. Like, she went slam ham on Ashley on Instagram, on Twitter, actually. Y'all got to go check it out. Actually, I'll post something right here so you can see it, so you guys can see it for the rest of the time that we talking. But anyway, let me go ahead and get with this, because I need to get off here and get me something to eat, y'all. So anyway, listen, I didn't expect the conversation between Ashley and Robyn to go down the way that it did. I mean, Ashley really got up in Robyn's stuff. But my favorite line, she was like, Robyn said, Robyn ain't co-signing nothing false. So to be very honest with y'all, I believe that Ashley and, Robyn and Candiace and Chris all heard what they said they heard. I believe it. I'm sorry. I said it. And I think that Ashley is not willing to accept this. And I feel like there's something else going on there, and it all sounds cockamamie, and I don't really understand what it is, and I cannot wait to find out whose husband that they was talking about. My MVP of the episode has to go to Giselle and to Chris Bassett. It goes to Giselle for being the messiest person in the Housewives history, okay? And coming out looking good while doing it. And I have a feeling she ain't gonna really face no backlash from it, and she's not gonna even be bothered by any that she does faces, because I felt like she laughed the entire episode, and her commentary was almost Bethany level commentary to me this episode. It was insane. And sidebar, Chris also gets the MVP of the episode for chiming in and saying that he heard Michael say that too. I was too through. But anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. I'm going to catch y'all in the next episode. Y'all follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJRichieSkye, and we out.